Hi, I'm Jim Knotts, President and CEO of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund. Welcome to today's virtual reading of the names. 2022 marks the 40th anniversary of the dedication of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. As part of our commemoration, we'll host an in-person reading of the names at the wall from November 7th through 10th, 2022, when all 58,281 names on the wall will be read aloud. In the lead up to that event, we'll be reading names each day online while sharing the photos of these heroes. For our daily virtual reading, the names of the service members will be read by month and day of death between the years 1956 and 1975 in alphabetical order for the given day. We apologize in advance for any mispronunciations. Know that our readers are doing their best to honor these service members. We hope you'll listen and watch each day and share with others as we remember and honor those who gave their lives during the Vietnam War.
John Dominic Archeo, William Olin Austin, John Thomas Baker, Alexander Beard, John David Bells, Guy Lester Ballou, Gary Lee Bender, Marie Lyman Borden, Robert White Boyd, John Wesley Brooks, Eugene O'Neill Brown, Darius E. Brown, Dennis Richard Brown, Sylvester Lewis Brown, Gary Dean Bird, Stephen Michael Cady, Leonard Wayne Campbell, Charles B. Carey, Willie Fred Cato, Joel Henry Chapin, Joseph Lyons Chestnut, Brian Michael Chilcote, Andrew Schmiel, John Stephen Schrin, Larry Ray Conley, Al Douglas Corbo, Larry James Cox, William Joseph Cox, Paul Joseph Cummings Jr., Joseph Dewey Daigle, Michael Lee Dara, Gerald Leon Dozier, William Leonard Druschel, Juan Shares Duran Jr., Michael Peter Jingle, John Leonard Edwards, Ronald Charles Edwards, Gerald Leonard Egyed, Wayne Clarence Elledge, Walter C. Evans, Louis Lauren Fowler, Philip Carroll Fox, Keith Eugene Frazier, Thomas Albert Fritzer Jr., Herman Bernard Galliard, William Joseph Gallagher, James Edwards Gardner, Hugo Aroux Gaitan, Jack Dwayne Golden, Jimmy Wayne Green, Mark Irwin Gross, David Michael Hallbauer, Jerry Lee Hallpenny, John Mark Hanson, Robert Edward Harper, Dennis Day Harris, Abraham Harris, Roger Charles Hearns, Frederick Raymond Horridge, Charles Milton Hauser, James D. Hunt, Rix Arbra Hudson, Angel Irizarry Hernandez, Perry Owen Jacobs,
Louis Emile Janka, John Wayne Jarrell, Richard Jr. Jones, Stanley Jesse Kerr, Pierce Mallory Kimball, George Henry Kingston Jr., John Kenneth Kruger, Harold J. Lanning, John Alex Lee, Michael Littock, David Lee Lockard, George W. Locke Jr., Annabelle P. Lozada Witchy, Larry Allen Mackey, William George Martin, Ronald Lee Martin, Michael John Masterson, Gary Lee McLeod, Eugene Thomas Meadows, Robert Alfred Michel, Emery George McCullough, William Julius Miller, Boyd Ellis Morrow, Robert Dean Neesham, Philip Arthur Nichols, Anthony Joseph Nigro, Quinlan Roberts Orell, Donald Roy Osborne, Bruce Armand Paquette, Ricky Allen Pate, Keith Allen Patterson, John Peter Pellegrino, John Price Pickett, Ernest Gerald Pipkin, Samuel Rudolph Plummer, Wayne Richard Pollard, Richard John Price, James Paul Perkey, Edward John Rafferty, Albert Marshall Reed, Joe Luis Ronay, Ronald Clements Rudolph, Richard Carl Saint Amand, Ronald Kenneth Schultz, Alan Leslie Siemens, George Everett Shade, William Steve Shade, Darrell Lee Sills, Melvin Francis Sink, Dwayne Charles Smith, George Micah Schmirachinsky, Roland C. Sorum, Lawrence Michael Sullivan, Larry Allen Walker, Dennis Walter Waterman, Hugh William Wellens, William George Wheatley, John Melvin Wheeler, Robert Lee White, Ernest Birdie White, Frank Norman Williams, Robert Charles Wing, Douglas Jean Wingert,